regular meeting, August 27, 2019, of the Bogota Board of Education at 7 p.m. Can you please stand for the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this provision of this Act, the Bogota Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Bogota Borough Hall, communicated by letter to the record, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Bogota, and posted on the Bogota Board of Education website. Irvin, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Connors? Mrs. Lewis? Mr. McHale?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Terrino?
Present.
Mrs. Van Buren?
Present.
Ms. Montgomery?
Here.
Mrs. Coles?
Here.
We have the call.
Thank you. Also present is Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy, the superintendent. Nathaniel Simon, our borough attorney. Mr. Efsel, our board administrator. And Elizabeth Ruiz, our assistant board secretary. Okay, at this time, I'd like a motion to open up to hearing of public comments on agenda items only. Motion? Charlie, second by Amanda. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, if anybody would like to come forward, just please state your name and your address on agenda items only. Nobody? Okay, can I have a motion to close?
Motion.
Charlie?
Second.
Second by Pat. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll go on to the superintendent's report.
Okay, first a couple items on the agenda. First, item 105, we have to pull candidate as backed out as the library media specialist, so we will open that back up. So 105 we are pulling, and then number 85, we got to change the student ID. It is listed as 26697. It should be 26997. So 85 should be 26997. We received word from CUSAC from the last couple of years. We had to go through the review process. We would finally have met all requirements, but unfortunately, it's a new CUSAC cycle and it's a whole new CUSAC process, and we are up again this year, so we will be preparing for that. Yesterday, I attended the Class 3 officers were sworn in. They will be available for the first day of school, so all 3 schools will have Class 3 officers starting on Wednesday. We are also looking to add a part-timer. In October, the law changes, and it's going to give us an opportunity to hire not just retired police officers, but also correction officers and state troopers, which we have not been able to, so we're hoping in that time frame we might be able to find a part-time person. I don't know if you noticed, but the new school bus was delivered, and right in the nick of time. The old bus, we had a problem yesterday with the old bus, and that's getting fixed now, but we're able to use it today for a volleyball scrimmage, so that is good. We went around to the buildings the last couple of days. I was in all 3 buildings today. We are ready to open for school. We have some odds and ends this week that we have to finish with painting and some floors, but for the most part, all the custodians felt very comfortable about building being ready on Tuesday, more importantly on Wednesday when students return. Technology update, all the new servers and switches were installed and configured. Our 1-button lockdown has been installed. All buttons and lights have been wired. We're just waiting on a couple of parts to integrate with the paging system. We've added about 4 to 7 cameras in each building, and also 12 to 14 speakers in each building. So now when this 1-button lockdown, every part of the building should have notification if they're in the hallway. More importantly, lights. If the lights are flashing, they will know we're going into a lockdown procedure. Also, the new cameras were added to view the 1-button lockdown so that if anyone ever touched it, we would know exactly who it is, and that's preventative right away. And then finally, we do have our welcome back breakfast. Obviously, everyone here is invited. We will be meeting in the gym probably here at 8 o'clock on Tuesday. So hope to see everyone there if they can, if they're not working. But again, next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, the whole district will be coming together for a welcome back continental breakfast, and then staff PD for the morning, and then they will report to their buildings. And then this is new this year, our students will be reporting on Wednesday. Since I've been here, it's always been the Thursday, 10 years ago, but this year we're going to go the 3 half-days. We're going to do some PD with the teachers on Wednesday and Thursday, but more importantly, get the kids back into the swing of things. And hopefully, if it's hot, those half-days will help us. So that's where we're at.
Any question, please? With regard to all these new security features, which is wonderful, we have a whole new class of children coming in from the elementary school. Are they aware of how everything works, or have they been educated, or they will be?
Well, tomorrow what happens is the 7th grade orientation, so they will be, but that first week of school, they have class meetings, and they will review all procedures. Especially here, they will talk about where they have to go in case they get caught in out of the classroom. They will be taught where the spots are to hide in the building, if they're in a bathroom, what to do. But usually the first couple of days of school, all procedures are reviewed, all emergency routes, teachers walk them through that. So yes, that will happen. And tomorrow they will touch upon it, but they won't throw too much at them tomorrow, as it's their first time in the building for most of them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to approval of minutes for June 11th special meeting, open and closed. June 11th, open and closed, work session. And June 18th, regular meeting, open session. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Kathy? Second by Pat. Any discussion? No discussion? Okay. Irving, could you pull the roll?
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Macchio?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes on June 11th. I abstain on June 18th.
Mr. Severino?
Yes on all the June 11th, and I recused June 18th. I was absent.
Mrs. Van Buren?
Yes.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We'll move on to policy, 827-1901 to 827-1931. Can I have a motion? So moved. Amanda? Second? Second by Lisa? Jim? Any discussion? Kathy?
Just, a lot of these policies are mandated, most of them are mandated, not always, but I think knowing that we work by committee structure, I think it's important just that everybody knows that there was no committee, there wasn't a forum that we put together, so there is no committee consensus on any of these, and I don't know if all board members got all the policies.
I shared everything in Google Drive with the alerts. So what I plan on doing is, for most of these policies, we have to fill in odds and ends. Yesterday, Kathy and Lisa were there, and we did some of them. But I'm also going to meet with the admin team on Friday. We have an admin meeting. Everyone's back in district, and we're going to fill in a few more. My goal is to get that to you before the next board meeting on, I think it's September 10th. And then we'll have them all filled out. If anyone has any questions, we could go before we approve them on the 17th.
So we should hold all questions until then?
I can answer any basic ones right now, but some of them we have to fill in, but it might be easier if you wait till everything's filled in.
All right.
I just wanted to get these in because these were mandated, and some of these were going back as far as 15 years that we haven't had them in place. So once we did the audit, these are the ones that we discovered. So we wanted to make sure we're caught up to date in all the policies. And there's a bunch more as a committee we're going to have to look at to see if we want to move forward and add those because they're not mandatory. It's up to the district whether or not they would like to approve them.
I have not seen any of these policies, so I can't vote for them. I didn't see, you said you sent them on Google Drive or something, is that what you said?
Yeah, I shared a link. I shared 2 links on the email.
I didn't see
One of
it.
the attachments.
Yeah, it was the
Did I see it?
attachments.
Anybody else? Irving, can you pull the roll, please?
Mr. Combs?
Can I ask a question before we vote?
Sure.
We're voting on the first reading on all of these.
Yes.
And the abolishment of policy 9110 is also a first reading, or is it an abolishment today?
That's a good question. I don't know that. Anyone that was abolished was picked up in another policy. It is never abolished.
Because that's one of the questions I had. I was asking why that was being abolished.
You asked two last night, remember?
Yeah, we had two.
The drug one, Mike, you got all the attachments?
The drug-free zone, right?
I honestly had, just like Charlie, I haven't seen them, so I'm a little uncomfortable going
We
into
looked
it.
into that drug-free.
Um,
That was one of them.
I'm sure they were sent, I've been away, but, you know, I'm not going to be excused.
I mean, I have no problem holding these all off to the
Do you wanna wait?
to the next
Do you wanna
meeting.
take
That's
over?
not a problem if everyone would like
I
to.
make a motion to table
I have a second.
until the next meeting.
All right, second by Pat,
If you don't mind.
that's
I
fine.
don't have a problem with that.
It doesn't send anything back.
Huh?
It doesn't send anything back to.
No, it would just be an extra month, but that's not a problem. Because it'll be, the
And then we'll
first
have
reading will be
everything filled
September.
out.
Right.
All
Yeah,
right.
then they'll be
That's
complete,
fine.
and then they can put it
Burn.
I know, I smell
You
something.
smell that burning, anyone?
Might be barbecue.
Oh, you have to wait.
It's just, that's sort of fire.
It does.
I don't see any smoke.
All right, Irving, can you pull the roll, please?
So,
On the tabling that?
Table to the next
Yes.
meeting, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Mr. Connors?
yes.
Mr. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller? Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Severino?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Buren?
Yes.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Coles?
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you. No, that's fine. Can you
Yeah.
find out if that, what that abolishment was, too, for the next one?
Yes.
All right. Okay,
That's a
we'll-
barbecue, it's not.
There was another one too, the drug-free zone.
Yes, the record zone of the-
Is that being picked up by a different policy? or-
Yes.
Okay.
See what the last email I sent a link to all these policies.
Excellent.
And then I also sent the alert that when you open it up, the alert you go to, it tells you exactly why it's mandated or why it's being abolished and what's happening.
I apologize.
No, but that wasn't in there, to abolish, I couldn't find.
I didn't include those, I'm sorry, because they just told me to abolish them.
Okay, but that would be good, if you could find the alert there, and then we can
Okay.
see why they're abolishing and where they went.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Also, Kathy, thank you very much. Kathy worked very hard on these policies, going through them. She had her list, so. All right, move on to education, 8/27/1932 to 8/27/1994. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Mike, second by Jim. Any discussion? Yep. Oh, 32.
On 80,
All the way up to number one.
page 16.
Okay, page 16, number 8.
I had a couple of questions. 61.
Wait, Jeff,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kathy first.
I did make a general statement, I met with Jill today about every single one of these, and every single one of them she felt was a necessary placement. Actually, the one on 80, 80's that's for homeless students.
I don't question the placement or anything, you know, I think it's atrocious that they get away with those kind of prices, I don't question that at all. What I'm questioning is that, it looks like a payment was made to them, so why are we not ratifying that?
Which one?
Number 8, it said, even though, second line, board approved tuition payment of $74.55.
For number 80? So just be ratified.
Just ratifying.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mike?
Quick question on 61. It's about the police doing the Bixby and Steam bullying and social media awareness. I think it would be better if we could possibly do this in the fall, only because waiting until March or April, school's almost out. And, you know, that message, just for me being an educator, that message needs to go out as early as possible. If there's a way that could be moved up to the fall, I think it would have a bigger impact on the kids, because if you're doing it in March or April, the school year's almost over. The other quick question was, no, that was it. That was it.
95, we're approving ski school, but Bixby has the council too. Yeah.
You might have said, we might have approved that already. You might have, yeah. But if not, it'll be on there. I don't know if they have the new members this year. So sometimes, like I know for the high school, they pick them earlier in the year.
Okay, anybody else? No? Okay, Irving, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Severino?
Yes on all, but on number 33, I vote yes on all, and I recuse on Mr. Severino.
Mrs. Van Buren?
Yes, on all.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Coles?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Move on to personnel, 827-1995 to 827-19-120. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Mike, second by Amanda. Discussion? Charlie?
Yes. On number 100, the vice principal, I will be voting no. I feel that we had a better candidate. I'm a little concerned in the direction that this district is going by appointing a gym teacher to vice principal. I understand the emphasis there was on discipline, but as I stated in the interview, discipline is the easiest part of the meeting. You just have to open the policy manual to win it. I think we have a much better candidate, and I think those of us that did have the opportunity to speak to this gentleman can see that he's not going to be here very long. He has aspirations, and he made it clear. He made it clear that what his goals are. So I will be voting no on this gentleman.
Anybody else? No? Irving, could you pull the roll, please?
This is from 95 to 120,
Oh.
and the 105 is...
We're taking 105 out.
Yeah. Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Marquardt?
Yes on everything, and no on
Mrs. Miller?
Yes, vote. We're not 107. You know.
105 is full.
No, I know, 107, he resigned, but then he's approved on.
She's resigning from the custodian job at night because she can no longer work at night, but she was always also a lunch aide during the
Okay, that's
day.
right.
So your vote is?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Severino?
Yes on all except 100. On 100, I vote no.
Mrs. Van Buren?
Yes, on all 100, I vote no.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Coles?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We'll move on to finance, 827-19-121 to 827-19-134. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Mike? Second by Jim. Any discussion? No discussion? or-
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
Charlie,
sorry.
sorry.
I'm sorry. Are you doing all of them?
Excuse me?
You going through all of them at once?
What do you mean all of them at once?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, 1 through 134, correct?
Right.
All right. Yeah, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
On the bill list, see there's 2 payments for the attorney's firm. Are we keeping a log as required by the administrative code? Because we got into trouble with that a while back.
No. We talked about it today, actually. Me and Irvin had a conversation about it. So I can tell you when I talked to her, or I can tell you, and Jill are the only people that have been talking to her. So we do not have per se a running log, but we do know from our phones and emails when. So we said today we want to go back to July 1st and make sure we do start logging it.
Okay, so we got into trouble last time because of that.
It's Kathy brought that up last night to us, so that's,
That's one of the comments we wrote, including that.
Okay.
And also, number Sounded like a full hearing to me.
We have two RFPs, one from Mike Mena, one from Wildlands. Their pricing is better, Wildlands.
Okay, to tell you the truth, I'd like to look at them because we've always used McManaman in Scotland, and basically, I know the town uses, I don't know anybody that doesn't use them, to tell you the truth.
Who's the other one?
McManaman in Scotland, that's what we're referring to, I think, right?
Yeah, that's the current.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I'd like to, if it's not too late, I'd like to see the proposals myself, if that's possible.
They're here.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you? Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, they're here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, when it comes to the bond council, these are the two big companies the school board's working with. Maybe Nathaniel can also give an opinion on that.
I've worked with both firms.
I'm sorry?
I've worked with both firms. I mean, there's only, I think, 12 in the whole state that do public sector bonding work. And in North Jersey, I know McManaman and Valencia, the two big ones.
It's really too lengthy to look through now.
There's a few in South Jersey, but
Yeah, everybody uses McManaman in Scotland, everybody. We've always used them as well.
Okay. Was there a request? Was there a significant price difference?
We are talking about $1,000, a couple of $1,000.
I had a question on 118. Is this to check
Residency.
students' addresses? And is it also as per needed, or?
Well, what it is someone will put in a residence check, meaning that they heard, like a kid might say something to school saying, oh, I moved to Teaneck, or we get mail delivered back to us, or sometimes parents will even tell us that they moved. So once we get that in writing, then he goes out and he checks on the house for a couple of days so that we can say, well, we don't see you coming in and out of the house right now. So anytime we get a tip, we send them.
So it's as per needed.
Yes.
For the fee cap comparison, the schedule is based on how much is the bond
Yeah, I saw that in the,
for both of them. So based on the $10 million bond, for example, we will pay the Wildlands like $15,000 versus my minimum will be $18,500.
yeah, I know, I didn't get to look at, I know we were provided with some stuff from Woolens Group that was in our packet, so I didn't get to compare that with McMahon and Scotland, so I'm sure there's other things, but okay. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Kathy?
On 133, is it doing a demographic study? Is that in the entire county?
Well, if you remember, we did the original demographic study in December.
Okay,
We looked at it and we thought some of the numbers were off based off the number of units being built.
right.
So we reached back out to the company that did it, and actually the man who did it, and he passed away. So we're working with a new company to see if they can work off what we got and work off it, or they're gonna have to do a new one. But it's like a 5-year plan of the town, of like where they expect to be numbers wise for us for students.
And the last one that we just had done, can I do that? Just give us.
It did, but it only gave us 221 units when we know 421 units are being built.
But I thought that there was a comparison where he said it was 400, it would have been like 100.
They gave strict numbers based off of 221
All right, so
units.
then we did the math and figured out.
It was 70 was what they gave us. So we wanted them to go back and say, hey, can you double check this?
Right.
Because they received their numbers from the town, from what he wrote in his report. We knew the numbers were higher. I don't know if he asked for the next 2 years, but we know in 5 years what's supposed to be there. So we had to go out and find a different company because the guy is no longer alive.
It's the same group that did Teaneck,
Which one?
this group here?
That I do not know. The original one we have is one that was highly recommended. So,
Who does Hackensack did? They must have done one, I'm sure, with all those new. Is there any way you can find out? You did Hackensack?
I Hackensack, and see what we can find out.
Because they have, I mean, Hackensack has all those developments going, I'm sure they asked for, how much of a bond? 20 million?
Somebody had sent me an article about TNET having it done. And, you know, I think I probably still have it on my phone, but it was quite different than what, you know, I think had they done Bogota, I think the number would have been much higher.
Well, because they only did 221.
No, I'm talking about the TNET study.
The T-Nex,
They didn't do anything with Bogota, I'm just saying they did a
Right.
study for TNET, whoever it was.
right,
And based on what they did, I think had they done Bogota, it would have been a lot higher.
right.
Pagoda's numbers. Firm is probably,
TNEC used Whitehall Associates.
that sounds familiar.
That's who we used the first time, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's who we used the first time.
Okay.
Is that what you're using now?
No, that's who we used the first time.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So we've already used it, okay.
Also, the Whitehall, the fee was the same, and this is the second person referred. Even today, when I was in the Long Range Facility Plan workshop in the NJ ASPO, when I talked to the School of Facilities person over there, I mentioned about this new demographic study we are going to hold. So she was, when she heard about the name, she was kind of okay. Seems like they are working with the demographic study handing to the Trenton to get the approval for the Long Range Facility Plan.
Okay, anyone else have any other questions? Kathy?
One last question on the bill list.
Sure.
On check number 023758 on July 19th. It's the one that starts with the capital supply. That's okay. Thank you. July 19th.
023.
Right, just passing those, 023758, $1,239.72. I'm guessing.
I believe that's when we sent them to Philadelphia for the tax.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, that's what I was kind of guessing.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Okay, Irvin, can you pull the roll, please?
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Wakia?
Yes, I know, but 131, just want to let you know, my wife sometimes substitutes for this insurance. We can get paid for get her health.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Salino?
On the bill list, 121, I recuse on 023712, Ms. Sereno. And no on 134, yes on the rest.
Mrs. Van Buren?
On the bill list, no on 023724, 128th list. And on August 27th, no on 023896. And no on 134. 134, yeah.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Coles?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Does anybody have any committee reports? We went over policy, of course.
I took some notes from the education committee meeting. We already voted on Lex Pool, or what do you say?
Next floor.
I wasn't. And Mr. Kennedy explained that, this is obviously a one-year thing to see how it goes. So it's not going to cost the district anything. And in return for them giving it to us for free for this year, they're just going to use our data to see where our kids are at. We also discussed RTI, the targeted intervention, peer intervention. We briefly discussed the district goals, and we are trying to link some testing data to one of the goals, but unfortunately, because the testing comes out test. It's going to be difficult to do that, but we're still trying to figure a way that we can do subgroups, and Mr. Kennedy's going to get back to us with some of the subgroups that we use to try to set some of the goals with some actual data. And the preschool is a big success. There's 70 kids enrolled and 30 kids on the waiting list. Next year, we're going to be adding 2 more classrooms. So it's very successful. The envy of every town in North County.
I think that's it. Buildings and grounds. There wasn't much of it.
Discussion process.
That was it. Does anybody have any old business? Kathy?
2 things. One is, I apologize, I won't be able to make that breakfast. But thank you. Also, on the June 18th minutes, I didn't want to correct the minutes because it wasn't really something the decision was made on. But we did discuss at that time, number 41 was the co-curricular assignments, and we discussed that there was nobody assigned to a backside substance abuse alliance. So I was just wondering if that might be going somewhere. And also, if there's any plans in this coming school year as far as getting some more tech classes going. We talked about that in the general school.
Right.
So just 2 questions there.
Maureen thought that.
No, but she's saying there's a teacher issue.
Oh, a teacher.
You refer to a teacher stipend position, right?
Oh.
Like a teacher.
Yeah, there was always like.
I
think Ms. Amano used to do it.
Karen asked that on a few years.
Right.
Was somebody from school that said, they're not doing it.
Yeah, they have to have
Anyone else, old business? Any new business? I have new business. I believe going back, you had an assembly for teachers regarding vaping. Someone came in and did, is there any way we could have an assembly for the students? 2 parents over the summer called me and found those vaping pipes or whatever in their kids' backpacks, and they were very upset.
They do have the new,
And the jewelries. And they were really upset, so they asked if I would bring it up at a meeting and ask if there's
Yeah,
any
they
way
usually have some guest speakers, but I'll see.
for
what
grade
exactly-
7 to 12
It's probably shift volume, but I don't know.
or 5th to 6th, because this was an 8th grader, and so,
Well, you do know that the council had a presentation a couple of weeks ago by somebody in town.
yeah, I heard that. But if that, maybe they could get that person to
That
come.
lady was very good, she was very thorough.
Great.
And I think she's actually retired, and that was part of her job title before, was counseling on, those kinds of
Great.
programs. But I believe the council voted last time I believe they voted to move the age to 21.
They're still getting.
No, I know they can still buy a new tea, they can still buy a new tea bag,
Yeah.
of course. But it's also.
But they're still buying it, believe it or not, here. for the-
Well, they can still buy it, I don't know when that takes effect, but there's also a licensing fee now that's going to be attached to all stores that sell it. And I believe it's $1,200 or $1,500. So I'm not sure if the smaller stores are going to carry the product anymore, if that's, it's definitely going to be returned to them. to
Right.
carry it.
Well, we try to let the police know anytime, like, we catch kids when we find out where they're getting, if they're trying to find a local store, and they're selling to kids, we try to let the police know to go to the store and let them know, but I can remember 15 years ago, like, everyone, the kids were smoking cigarettes, now no one smokes cigarettes, but vaping is.
I don't know, maybe if they
taking
create
over.
a
Well, they just had-
movie or something. No, I know, but we have to put it out there.
We looked into that too, but it's not only expensive, but it wasn't totally accurate, but they can vape in a locker, they can vape as they walk down the hallway. They don't smell, they're smokeless, so they're not going to the bathroom to smoke, to vape.
And they're so tiny that
You know,
they
they
can
look
literally
at-
hold them in their hands and you wouldn't know that.
All right.
Yes, it's as small as a thumb drive, yeah.
But I think think I just read that like 20 kids got sick this past week, so we're hoping that this might deter some kids, saying that, well, look, this is what they're telling you what happens if you do this. But it is a problem, and, we're trying to stay on top of it, but every kid seems to have one.
Very easy.
I read that one of the SLEOs is canine.
Yeah.
Does he get to bring his dog in? Can we
Well,
teach
the
the
dog
dog?
is retired.
Oh, man, the dog can smell out the,
I think the vape, though, you can't detect it, that's the
I'm
problem.
sure a dog will detect it.
So, yeah.
Dogs are amazing. Just have him there, just have him there. He doesn't even smell anything.
I have a question.
Just for intimidation.
Mike, Troy.
Like that ordinance you're talking about from the council, have they passed that yet? Proposing a fee?
You know, I honestly, I don't want to say yes or no, because I don't know if it was the first, if it was introduced. If the meeting went until about 12 o'clock. Yeah. So, I don't, do you mind me
You
asking?
could ask, no, since we're asking.
Was the ordinance about vaping, was that passed the other night? Or was it just introduced?
It was introduced, it's going to be revamped by the attorney.
Oh, okay. So it's
So
not
it's in the
passed.
process, okay, that's what I needed to know.
Right,
Thank you.
this September 5th, it should be public and then we'll vote.
And it was 21 and over and
Correct.
12, was it 1,200 or 1,500?
High license fee, yeah.
Anybody else have any new business? Kathy?
Kathy, you're always looking at me. Yeah, two things. I signed up to go to a workshop on sustainability in November, which was pretty interesting, and I was wondering if I could find time to talk through about things that we have in place as far as recycling and all that. So that's in November, and I don't know about anybody else, but I got the school board members, and the convention is October 21st, 25th, I'm going to know. So, we're going to start to take a toll on this.
I think, Lizzie, were you going to book the rooms and then we could cancel them? Well,
Really, Harris?
Did that?
Okay.
We have a book for September 20th to make any changes.
What are the dates, Tim?
21st, Monday the 21st to the 24th.
I can tell you right now.
21st to the 24th.
October 21st to the 24th, I believe they gave us trouble tax. Because Sherman was already back, but.
The sheriff, you know, the sheriff.
That was the big one.
Yep.
That was
What,
nice.
last year?
Yeah.
How far is Tropicana from?
Furthest one away,
There's always,
furthest one, better off than.
I believe that. It was convenient, though. to walk.
Right across the street.
Well, just for the convention, but everything else, a lot of those events are held in a tribe or tribe is the place.
Anybody
And Hard Rock.
New business, anyone else? No? All right, so can I have a motion to open up to
Motion.
hearing of the public? Charlie, seconded by Kathy. All right, at this time, if anybody would like to come forward for public comments, just state your name and address. Nobody, huh? Okay. Can I have a motion to close?
Motion.
Pat, second by Charlie. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, we need to go into executive session, so can I have a motion? By
Second.
Pat, second by Mike. Executive session, whereas C-231 PL 1975, also known as the Sunshine Law, authorizes the public body to meet in executive or private session under certain limited circumstances, and whereas said law requires the board to adopt a resolution at a public meeting before convening such an executive or private session. Now therefore be it resolved by the Bogota Board of Education that it does hereby determine that it is necessary to meet an executive session on August 27, 2019, at 7:39 p.m. to discuss matters involving litigation. That the matter discussed will be made public if and when confidentiality is no longer required and action pursuant to said discussion shall take place only at a public meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Action may or may not be taken upon return. We might be about 10-15 minutes. Can I have a motion to open up?
Motion.
Charlie, second by Pat, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'd like to have the board add a motion to the agenda. 135.
Motion in resolution 135 to the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
Okay. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools and board attorney, the board approves the settlement agreement in the matter captioned MGO/B/OJA v. Bogota Board of Education, OAL docket number EDS 10575-2019, agency reference number 2019-30181, and authorizes the board president to sign same on behalf of the board for implementation in accordance with its terms.
Motion move.
No, I'll give that to. Thank you.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, Irvin, can you pull the roll, please?
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Sereno?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Buren?
Yes.
Ms. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Coles?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Very good. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
A Pat, second by Charlie, all in favor?
Aye.